Echo of success. My name is Adam, and I remember those years as if they happened yesterday, despite all the time that has passed. I was born and raised in a poor neighborhood where the smell of wet soil mixed with the scent of cheap soap. My father worked tirelessly in an old factory, and I worked in the evenings to pay for my worn-out school books. School was my only refuge, the place where I could feel richer than everyone else, not with money, but with knowledge. I was an excellent student, passionate about learning, but passion wasn't enough to protect me from the harshness around me. There was a group of boys in my class, sons of wealthy families. They wore the finest clothes and carried the latest gadgets. To them, I was nothing but the worker's son, or the smart beggar. They bullied me in every way imaginable. I still remember the day they poured juice on my only notebook, laughing and saying, "Go wash it, Adam. Your savings will disappear if you ever buy a new one." But worse than the spilled juice was the loneliness. Whenever I tried to join a study group, they would whisper and fall silent the moment I approached. They made me feel that poverty wasn't a lack of money, but a flaw in my personality. Those painful moments shaped me. Every time I felt discouraged, I remembered my father's tired face as he came home from work and my mother's dreams for me. Open quote, I decided to turn their bullying into fuel, not chains that held me back. Close quote. Every night, I studied under a dim lamp, sometimes until dawn. I focused on one goal, a success that no one could take away from me, a success that demanded respect. When I reached high school, I chose to study architecture. My classmates laughed at my dream, saying, "How will you build palaces when you can't even afford a new pen?" I ignored them. I passed the entrance exams with high scores and earned a full scholarship, silencing every doubter. University wasn't easy. I worked as a delivery driver in the evenings and often slept only a few hours. But every sleepless night and every rushed meal brought me a step closer to my goal. I graduated at the top of my class and started working at a small architectural firm. Within a few years, I left and founded my own company, Future Builders. I didn't focus only on profit. I focused on the idea I grew up with, the ability to build from nothing. I specialized in designing sustainable buildings for low-income areas, trying to improve the lives of people who were just like me. Today, I am not just a successful architect. I am a voice in my community. I give motivational talks to young people and even created my own scholarship programs. I remember one day, while giving a lecture at my old school, I met one of the boys who used to bully me. He was working as a simple employee there. He didn't recognize me at first, but when I mentioned my name, the color drained from his face. After the lecture, he approached me shyly and said, "Adam, I'm sorry for what we did to you in the past. I never imagined you would become this." I smiled calmly without resentment and replied, "It's all right, my friend. If you hadn't pushed me so hard backward, I might not have jumped this far forward." And that's when I realized that my story was no longer a tale of poverty and suffering. It had become the echo of success. I became the role model I once needed when I was a frightened child. I proved to myself and to the world that a person's worth is not measured by the price of their clothes, but by the strength of their will and the depth of their knowledge.